the best a man can get. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, the PG, makes the day for me. Cameron Coca-Cola, always in the game. Well, the Quad A final of Penn Hills Indians set to come onto the field as the Penn Hills band leaves the field here, Dan. And we've been looking at this team warm up, and as you mentioned, it looks like a college team. What do we count? 71 players. And take a look at how these teams got here to the final. The Indians 12-0 with wins over Norwin and Penn Trafford in the playoffs. Got against that real passing team. That should get them primed for Cullen Hawkins here this evening.
Exactly. They gave up some passing yardage, but the important thing is the score, and it really didn't bother them. It was an easy win for them.
And obviously no trouble at all with Norwin in the first round. Look at the Upper St. Clair road to the final here for the 7th time in the last 8 seasons. A big win over North Hills at home in the first week. A lot of people had them underdogs in that game. They shut down LeVar Arrington, just 44 yards in that game for him. And then the big win, Seneca Valley at North Allegheny last Saturday afternoon. And McCardle had a big football game in that day with Jason Daly catching a couple touchdown passes.
Yeah, it's a good Seneca Valley team that they beat. You know, as the Wpial Quad A season went on, North Allegheny was favored early on. They were ranked in the USA Today. Then Seneca Valley came through, beat NA, and then Penn Hills has kind of taken over the limelight since then. Now they're ranked in the USA Today 12-0.
You take a look there, if you look at the way things have gone for Upper St. Clair over the last 8 seasons, and back in '88, the first year they won the Wpial, they were not involved in the PIAA playoffs, and Central went on to win the state Quad A title. That was the first year it was ever contested. And then, of course, they went on to beat North Hills in the final in '89 and go undefeated. Doug Whaley, Peter Beebe, and win that state championship. They didn't make it in 1990. I don't know what happened that year, but Coach Render, I'm sure, is having got an investigation into it. They lost to Connellsville in '91. That was our first year seeing the Panthers here at Three Rivers, and that was quite a contest. But then came back, beat North Allegheny the year after that, and then Stan mentioned the last 2 weeks or 2 seasons losing to the state champions.
Exactly. Actually, the last 3 seasons, McKeesport won the state champ, North Hills won the state champion, and even the year Upper St. Clair won the Wpial, they lost to Cumberland Valley, who went on and won the state championship.
See the captains meeting at midfield. Cullen Hawkins, number 21 for Upper St. Clair. David Kern, number 7, the linebacker and tight end for the Panthers. And there you get a look at the size difference there with the Penn Hills players. We're going to have the coin toss, and let's go to the officials on the field if we can. See if we can pick up that mic. The Panthers won the toss and did not, they're going to defer till the second half. The Jeremy George, one of the number 33, one of the captains for Penn Hills, along with number 75, Mike White, number 65, Damon Gibson.
Boy, and you get an idea how big White and Gibson are right there at the look at that White coming off the field.
Right, number 28, Garrett Livingston, the inside linebacker and also the fullback for this Penn Hills team. And Dan, he's a pretty good runner himself.
Yeah, there was a nice article in the Greensburg Trib this morning by Rich Emmert about Livingston and kind of an unsung hero's role, you know, playing fullback and also playing the other inside linebacker position. He's been a real key to this team this year.
So it'll be Penn Hills getting the football first. And the Panthers kicking it off here right to left. And that means Cullen Hawkins will be the first man to touch the football in play, and that's been the case all season long for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. What a season he has had. 171 points scored, easily the leading scorer in Western Pennsylvania. 20 touchdowns on the ground. He's had a good year kicking the football with 33 extra points, 6 field goals. What a season it has been for Cullen Hawkins, and kind of fitting that he gets to kick off this championship game.
It is. This will be his 3rd year in the Wpial Finals. Hasn't come out with a win yet, so you know he's looking to end his career with a victory.
Dwayne Thompson is the deep man for Penn Hills. He wears number 22, and he's one of the 2 super juniors on the Penn Hills offense. He stands inside his own 10-yard line. He's the man in the middle. Also back there with him, Damian Germany, the flanker, and number 21, Victor Strader on the near side. Hawkins kicks the football. We're underway. It's going to come to Germany on the hop. No, it's taken by number 23, Nick Brown. And Brown is hemmed in quickly by the Panthers coverage. And brought down inside his own 30-yard line. So Upper St. Clair obviously excited with some pretty good play on the opening play of the game, Dan.
I'm sure Penn Hills has been used to that this year, kicking away from Thompson and Strader. Kind of a little bit of a squib, but good coverage by Upper St. Clair. They keep them inside the 30. They'll start at the 28.
Got to look at Len Gilmer, the quarterback, a junior for Penn Hills. He wears number 3. Not a lot of passes, just 45 total for the season, 368 yards. They're a running football team. And Thompson, the left halfback, number 22, is in there on the first play. He gets the pitch. He's across the 30 to the 40. And he is on his way to drop down from behind. Bob Bunn, the linebacker from Upper St. Clair, the junior, makes the touchdown-saving tackle for Penn Hills in early business in Upper St. Clair territory. So the Indians start quickly. You see there at the end of the play, and Bunn just reaching out and pulling him down by the back of the neck there.
Just a student body right, and Thompson did a nice job getting around the corner, but credit really goes to the blockers. Look at the lane right there. Yeah. They really do a good job giving him a running lane, and he does the rest.
A downfield block by DeMond Gibson. It's again, this is Strader, gets his first carry from the tailback spot, and he picks up 5 on first down.
I think there's a penalty movement on Penn Hill, Sean. That should bring it back.
There is a flag in the backfield. And Dan is correct. They'll move that one back so the Panthers can at least take a deep breath here defensively and dig in a little bit. Let's take a look at the rest of that Penn Hills starting offense if we can, as soon as we get the signal. Yep, it's illegal motion against the Indians of Penn Hills. Strader and Thompson are the halfbacks for Penn Hills. Strader's still in there, number 21. Number 28 is the fullback. That's Garrett Livingston. The pitch to Strader. He'll try the right side. He has room, but he's hemmed in nicely on the near side as number 99, Alex Olshansky, came down the line. Pete Phillips came up to make the first hit for Upper St. Clair, number 11.
They're going to continue to run these sweeps. There's going to be a lot of pressure on the St. Clair linebackers and cornerbacks, defensive backfield, to come up and make that play.
Get a look there at the offensive front. And as we mentioned, Gibson and White, the big guys for Penn Hills. Di Natale, the tight end. Second and just about 10 yards. It's Thompson on the carry. He takes the pitch. And the Panthers reacted quickly. He picked up about 3 or 4 yards on the play, but was unable to break the long one as he did in the first play offensively. Aaron Coe, number 66, out there, and along with Doug Glynn, number 85 for Upper St. Clair, and of course David Kern, number 7, the ever-present linebacker and defensive captain for Upper St. Clair.
St. Clair has seen a similar type team that they saw last year in the championship game against McKeesport. Not only is Penn Hills big, but they also have great speed, as they've shown already in the backfield.
Nose tackle for Upper St. Clair is number 77, Justin Baer. And he pushes the line back. And Strader's looking for room. He's in trouble. He's lost 4 or 5. And Upper St. Clair's going to take him down for a loss. It's Jason Bassan, the man to finish him off. Big number 75 along with Bob Bunn. It's going to set up 4th and 10. And the Indians going to have to punt the football after what appeared to be a promising start offensively.
Well, you see the lead fullback. He just got pushed right back, and that clogged everything up. Let's see if I can get a number on that. And by the time he had to reverse his field, St. Clair did a good job on the weak side pursuit.
Dave Zakia on to punt the football for Penn Hills. With Tim Stein calling for the fair catch, but they're going to let it roll, and it's going to be a Penn Hills roll down to about the 6-yard line. It's close to the 5 inside the 5. They're right at the 5. The Indians will down it, and Upper St. Clair will start out deep in their own territory. So we'll take a commercial here, and we'll be back with Upper St. Clair's first trip on offense right after this. No score in your Quad A championship. As they line up here, 1st and 10, here the Indians, Mac McCardle, number 3, the sophomore quarterback under center. That's Pete Phillips, number 11 in motion to give us to Hawkins. He's across the 5 and met right at the 5-yard line by the Penn Hills defense, as the defensive wall did not give number 88, the linebacker, the heralded linebacker for Penn Hills, make the play. Actually, that was Livingston, 28, I guess, the other linebacker next to Ron Graham.
Sean, there you saw Mac McCardle's stats for the season. If Penn Hills continues in this defense, they came out that time in a 6-man front. They're almost daring him to throw the ball.
Now, Rick Prosco, number 72, of course, is the junior center for Upper St. Clair, and he lines up right against the big man for Penn Hills. There goes Tim Stein into the flanker spot. He's in motion. The fake to Hawkins. McCardle will throw from his own end zone. Has a receiver, as Dan said, and it is Tim Stein, and he's got a first down. No, they're going to mark him out of bounds right at about the 14-yard line. He's going to be a yard short of a first down. Set up 3rd and 1.
Penn Hills is starting with 4 down linemen, Sean, but the linebackers are really playing tight. It's almost a 6 or 7-man front. If McCardle can get any time at all, it's really just one-on-one coverage in the secondary. That's a lot of pressure to put on your secondary, especially when you're playing against a pretty good quarterback who's going to hit somebody if they're open.
And you saw it right there on the replay. Stein's right foot coming down on the line right after his left foot came down for the completion. As we said, McCardle's the quarterback. And here comes the pitch to Hawkins. He's going to try the left side, but whistles blow, flags fly. It will be no play. Bob Bunn, number 33, is the Panthers fullback. Eric Render, the tight end, number 19, the coach's son, Justin Jr.
That's going to be on Penn Hills, and that's going to give them a first down.
And it gives me an opportunity to ask, I should know better than to second guess a coach who's won 217 games, but Coach Render's used to it by now. They deferred. And we talked about it before the game. If St. Clair to be in a game like this has got to score first, maybe get ahead and, make it almost a shootout against a power team like Penn Hills.
I think it was psychological more than anything. We're not intimidated by you. We're not scared of you. We'll come out and play defense against you. I really think that was psychological because we've seen him coach over the years. That's not something he typically does.
So far it works, and Hawkins on the carry across the left side, across the 20, about the 22-yard line, before he's brought down on the play by Garrett Livingston for Penn Hills. Also helped out on the play by Jeremy George, number 33, the senior defensive end. And look at Gibson there being blocked by Aaron Cohen.
Yeah, he's telling me he's grabbing me by the jersey, which he was, but if you keep your hands in tight, you can usually get away with that.
2nd and 6 from the Panthers from their own 24-yard line. You see Eric Render, the tight end, switch sides. Phillips comes to the near side as a flanker. McCardle wants to throw the football, and he has Jason Daly, the split end, and it's first down yardage, but it's going to be no catch. Incomplete, the coverage on the play by Dwayne Thompson, number 22. For the Indians, and Panthers throwing early in the down and distance here, Dan. Something not at all unexpected with the way Mac McCardle's been throwing the football in recent weeks.
Now, as I said, if you take a look at the way Penn Hills is lining up on defense, they're really bringing everybody. They're almost forcing them or daring them to throw the ball.
By the way, I want to mention Corey Connors, number 69, in there instead of number 76 at the defensive tackle spot for Penn Hills. Connors playing on the right side, the near side of the field. McCardle fakes it to Hawkins, goes down the middle of the field, has a wide open Pete Phillips. Well, not really wide open. The ball a little bit too far as Phillips was being covered on the play by Damian Germany, but he had a step on him, Dan.
But it's actually a perfect call, Sean, because there's no free safety for Penn Hills. You'll see him come over late, but he was double teaming the wide receiver on the far side. He gets over there to help out, but the middle of the field is wide open. That's an excellent call. They just weren't able to make the completion.
Yeah, Mac just got a little bit too much air under that football. And Panthers have to punt it away. That's Mike Junko. And the ball's going to bounce. Pete Phillips going to down it right about the 48-yard line. Now Penn Hills, so the Indians get good field position here to start things off for the second time. WPIAL Championship Football being brought to you by the International Culinary Academy, where you earn a specialized associate's degree in as little as 18 months. 1st and 10 Penn Hills Indians on their own 49-yard line. We'll call it just outside. They're inside the 49. Full house backfield to give to Strader on the counter, and he's being chased down from behind by Alex Olshansky. Kern had a shot at him, but Strader just breaks a couple tackles and ends up with an 8 or 9 yard carry, Dan.
Yeah, that's just pure talent. He got that all on his own. Actually, the defensive lineman for St. Clair did a great job stopping that play in the beginning, but Strader just bounced it outside and picked up some good yardage.
We do have an Upper St. Clair player injured on the field. And frankly, I didn't see him go down, and it's tough to tell from here just what the number is. Mike Campbell, number 37, the outside linebacker, could very well be. We'll take a look and see if we can see what happened to him. Yep, Campbell's up, and they're going to hustle him off to the far sideline. Let's see if we can pick up where Mike comes in. Oh, he got a block there, and he got drilled twice. Looked like he got hit by a truck there, Dan.
Yeah, he got hit by Mr. Gibson. The impressive thing with Gibson is that after he made that block, he went and made another block. You know, he just didn't take it easy. He made that block, and then he went and looked for somebody else.
We talked about the size problem that Upper St. Clair is going to have, and you saw it illustrated just there. Number 78, Richard Phillips, in on the defensive line. He brings a little bit of size to the Panthers' defense as the give is to Thompson, and Thompson picks up a first down just outside the Upper St. Clair 40-yard line. So on 3rd and short, Coach Render, or 2nd and short, went to the beefier front line, but they couldn't keep Penn Hills from picking up the first down. As you see Greg Corzin head to the Panthers sideline. Constant shuffling on that Upper St. Clair defense, and you'll see a lot of that all night long as you get a look at Thompson, just 5'9", 170, but runs a lot bigger. This is Strader from his halfback spot in the power eye set. He's got about 8 more before David Kern and Pete Phillips able to bring him down.
They're mixing their play selection up well. Coach Gordon is, you know, they're going outside, they're going inside, they're running left wide, they're running right wide. Here's an excellent cut.
Yeah.
Breaks one tackle, and then the other cut gives him about 5 more yards.
Thompson and Gibson leading him, and then Mike White coming out there as well. 2nd and short, 2nd and about 2. This is Thompson. Great inside move, and he cut and almost broke that one for the score. Pete Phillips able to bring him down, though, on that play. Also with some help from big number 76, 78, Richard Phillips.
Sean, you'll notice Penn Hills is trying to speed up their offense. They feel they have them backpedaling, and they're just getting the play in a hurry and coming right back at them.
A power eye set there, and there it goes. It's Thompson with a little counter play, and he's picking up 5 more. Panthers defense having a lot of trouble digging in here against that big, powerful Penn Hills front.
Yeah, I'm watching the Penn Hills sideline. Coach Gordon is just circling his arm saying, let's go, keep moving. You know, speed things up. We got them backpedaling. Let's keep coming at them. If St. Clair isn't able to stop Penn Hills running between the tackles, they're going to have a long night.
2nd and 4. 1st and 10. 1st and goal. Inside the 10. Dwayne Thompson on the carry. And they're rolling them up.
Yeah, well, now's when you go back outside. You've run inside the last 2 or 3 times. You've gotten good yardage. Maybe you fake to your fullback and kick it to the outside.
Now mark it just outside the 8-yard line. Looked like the fullback may have jumped a little, but they're really moving in a hurry, aren't they? And you see Bunn pull the ball loose there, but I would believe that it'll be ruled down. Dwayne Thompson on the carry, not a fumble. It's a gain instead to the 6-yard line where it'll be 2nd and goal for Penn Hills. And Thompson and Strader both coming out? No, that's Thompson and number 28, Garrett Livingston, both coming out. This is Strader. He takes it down to the 1 for Jason Basson, and Pete Phillips able to bring him down. Hearing a lot of Pete Phillips' name already, and as a quarterback, that's not a good sign.
That's not what you want to hear, and if you were wondering why Penn Hills quarterback Len Gilmore's only thrown the ball 45 times this year, now you see why. When you can run the ball like this, there's really no need. Thompson, 7 carries for 57 yards already in the game, and Strader has 19 yards on 5 carries. So they're piling up the yardage, and it's only the first quarter.
3rd and goal from the 2. It's Strader. He tries to dive over the top, but the Panthers pushed him back, I think. The signal is it is a touchdown. So Penn Hills on the board first here. With 3:53 to play in the first quarter. This is a team that scores a lot of points. 28 points per game they average. And they're right on schedule.
Watch him get up in the air. He sees there's a lot of traffic there. And he decides right about here he's going to go over top, and he gets a good spin.
Dave Zakia on to attempt the extra point. The kick is up. It's good. And it's a 7-0 Penn Hills lead. We get another shot at the touchdown. Just had it all and just reached the ball over the goal line right there. There's the touchdown. And with Penn Hills leading Upper St. Clair, we'll be back with more first quarter Quad 8 championship action right after this. At Computer Tech, where you earn a specialized associate degree in just 18 months. Well, Dave Zakia will kick it off here, and the Panthers will get to run one back for the first time here tonight. Then they had an opportunity to do it. We questioned it, but it seemed to work out the way the Panthers had wanted early on. They got the ball, just couldn't move it downfield, and Penn Hills just an awesome offensive display as Zakia's kick goes out of bounds. That'll give Upper St. Clair the ball. Where, on the 35? No, they penalize him.
That's a penalty. That's correct. I believe in high school it's to the 40. I might be wrong. Maybe it's the 35. Let's see here.
We'll see what the official says.
Sean, the big key with, deferring on the kickoff for Upper St. Clair was that the defense wasn't able to keep Penn Hills down in their own end of the field. A lot of times you do that for field possession. As you recall, Penn Hills' first possession, they broke off that long run, and all of a sudden the field possession is different. Penn Hills had the punt. St. Clair has the ball on their own end. Right. They get off a short kick. That second possession for Penn Hills, they started at the 50. They were playing on a short field.
Well, that bad kick by Zakia gives the Panthers 1st and 10 at their own 35 and good field position for Mac McCardle. You see Render switching sides, and along with Tim Stein, the flanker on the far side. Jason Daly split to the near side, but it's Hawkins, the tailback, and he just got about a yard over the left side for Upper St. Clair. Number 89, the man of the hour, Ron Graham, just a junior, inside linebacker for Penn Hills, made the play, and he is really something.
Well, again, Penn Hills is really selling out on the run. I think St. Clair needs to go back down the middle of the field, maybe using their tight end or trying to slide Cullen Hawkins out in the flat or down the middle of the field, because they're really coming. There's nobody in the middle of the field in the secondary.
Split backs, Upper St. Clair. You see you saw the graphic, 40 yards last week for Hawkins against Seneca Valley. Well, Mac McCardle took that game over with his arm, and here he is, maybe to throw it. No, he's going to tuck it and run, and he picks up about 8 yards, loses it on the fumble. We've got a loose ball in the middle of the field, and it looks like Penn Hills is in the best position to recover it, but we'll have to see after they unpile that mess.
Yeah, they do have it.
Football.
There is a flag down, but I think it's a holding because it's in the backfield of Upper St. Clair. We'll have to take a look at it. On the rollout by McCardle, they threw the flag. I'd have to guess that's a holding penalty. So the play will stand.
One would think.
And it is.
Yep.
First down.
So the Indians get a break here with 2:57 to play in the first quarter, leading 7-0. You see, here's McCardle. And it looked like a pretty good decision. He got outside. He was being pressured from the back. And
it was a real good decision. He just didn't hold on to the ball. There it is, the backside hit. You see it happen so often. You're not expecting that.
And I believe that was 89 Ron Graham who knocked it loose.
But it was a good run by McCardle. He almost picked up the first down, but unfortunately, great pursuit by Penn Hills, and they strip the ball, and they're back in business.
Pick up of about 7 yards on first down. It's 2nd and 3 for the Indians. Just outside the Upper St. Clair 41-yard line. See Graham go in motion, throw that block off tackle, and they just run Thompson right up in there behind him, and he's close to a first down. Quite a game for him last week. Dwayne Thompson, 4 touchdowns in that game.
Now he's on a pace for 175 yards in this game.
Yep. He had 175 in that one. And there's a run up the middle by Thompson again. He's got the first down and down near the 30-yard line as they're just moving it through this Upper St. Clair defense. And the question, you know, if they're doing it this early, this easy, this early.
And the concern for Upper St. Clair, as I mentioned earlier, Sean, is they're doing it between the tackles. And with their speed, if they're able to go inside, sooner or later they're going to, you know, go student body right again or kick it to the outside. They have to be able to shut them down between the tackles and dictate the kind of plays they run.
Thompson will try the left side, and Panthers stacked him up. Doug Blinn in there to help make the play. Not the first man there. The first man, I believe, is Cullen Hawkins. You'll see 21 come from the bottom of that pile. Aaron Coe kind of held his ground from the tackle spot, but Hawkins comes from his linebacker spot or his corner spot on the right side and got the first hit on Strader. Sets up second and a long 8 for Penn Hills. Strader gained him about 4 on that one.
And there's about 3 St. Clair defenders laying on the ground. They all had shots at him. One had a shot at him in the backfield. He was able to slip that tackle and kick it outside.
Well, Neil Gordon has said that he thinks both of these backs are probably Division I backs. And, well, that's something. Can you imagine that? And they're in the same class. It's not like one's a junior or a senior. Exactly. He'll have both these guys again next year. And they sure look like it, don't they?
They sure do.
So far, anyhow. 8 carries, 32 yards for Victor Strader. Strader and Thompson both in there. Strader on the halfback on the near side, and there's Thompson on the carry. Close to first down yardage, but stacked up. David Kern made a good hit on him there.
I think he's going to be about a yard short.
Along with Alex Olshansky for the Panther defense, and they did hold him short. It's going to be 4th and 1 here for the Indians. Upper St. Clair held him once on 4th down.
So already our first big play, the last play of the first quarter. St. Clair needs to change the momentum around. This is where they do it.
Clock under 30 seconds here, as you see in the top left of your screen. They give us to the tailback, and he's got the first down Strader easily. He's down to about the 15-yard line to set up shop, and may or may not be. See, as they move the sticks, we're down to 14 seconds. Get a look there at head coach Jim Render, and obviously not pleased with the development so far, but as we mentioned early on, just getting this team back here again. And it's one of the big problems that we talked about. Look at the record in 8 years at Upper St. Clair. 91-12-1. But that is the end of the first quarter of play here at Three River Stadium. Sean Doherty, Dan Donahoe bringing you the Wpial Quad A Championship here on Prime Sports. It's 7-0 Penn Hills. Well, there you see it. It's 7-0 here after 1 quarter of play. And we'll take a look at first quarter stats. And as the Penn Hills Indians get set to go here on 1st and 10 at the Upper St. Clair 15-yard line, 110 yards rushing. We'll look at the stats right after this play. But already, and that's why they lead it 7-0. Look at the run there by Strader as he's down to almost another first down pickup before Chris Tadaro is able to help bring him down for Upper St. Clair along with Alex Olshansky and Doug Blinn. And Dan, there's the numbers, and they're not pretty if you're an Upper St. Clair Panther fan.
No, they're not. 110 yards rushing in the first quarter. Thompson was 70 yards. Strader with 40. He just picked up another 9 or 10 yards. So he's got 50 yards. They now have 120 rushing yards. And you're almost getting to the point where St. Clair has to start gambling. There you see it.
There it is. David Kern on the blitz, but he doesn't get to the right guy. And it looks like another first down pickup for Penn Hills. It is a first down pickup for Dwayne Thompson. Easily, he's going to set it up here, 1st and goal for the Indians.
This looked like offsides, but they didn't call it. But a nice block.
They're just pushing them back.
By Garrett Livingston, he picked up the blitz and kicked them out, and that opened up the hole for the first down. Coach Gordon will grade you with an A so far.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that doesn't get picked up all that often. But you mentioned Livingston, the senior fullback who saw Kern coming and just shielded him away. There's Tadaro got wrapped around the running back on that play, but still a pickup of a yard. He's down almost into the goal line here on second.
We're going to give it to him.
It is a touchdown.
Must have been laying across it. They couldn't tell until they dug him out a little bit and saw that he was laying in the end zone.
So Strader and Thompson each have one here with just 10:51 to play in the first half. It's Penn Hills out to a 13-0 lead.
It's my first chance to see Penn Hills this year, Sean. I think the thing that impresses me most about Thompson and Strader is they're just not fast. They're just not quick. They break tackles. I mean, he broke 2 tackles just gaining that 3 yards. They're running through people.
And Strader holds for Dave Zacchaeus, so they're versatile as well. On to attempt the extra point. Zacchaeus' kick is up. It's perfect. It's a 14-0 Penn Hills lead in the Quad A championship. We'll take another look at the touchdown and see if we get a clearer look from another angle as to how he got in there. Thompson with the short touchdown run. Coming right at it, yeah.
And there's 2 guys who hit him, and he carries them in.
Yeah.
There's the third. I mean, that's just a nice piece of running.
You see them just pushing the guys in the middle back. So it's a touchdown for Dwayne Thompson and a 14-0 Penn Hills lead here early in second quarter action.
Early on in this game, Penn Hills was running outside. They were pulling linemen. The last 2 possessions, they've just played straight ahead football. They're just going right at them. Man on man, blocking straight ahead, nothing fancy. They're just coming at them.
The prize fighter, Route 51, Bell Vernon. Zacchaeus' kick is up, and Hawkins going to field it at his own 7-yard line for Upper St. Clair. Across the 20 to about the 23 on the pickup. So a decent return, but not great field position, but at least Mac McCardle can be fairly comfortable getting under center here, Dan. And it's time Upper St. Clair is going to have to produce something here offensively before this game gets away from them.
Well, it is, and it's time that they, you know, they haven't had the ball that many plays, but they have to get Cullen Hawkins in the game. He's your stud. He's the guy who got you here. You have to get him the ball. If he's having trouble running the ball, you might have to dump it off to him, but you have to get him involved in the game.
You see that big second quarter play for the Penn Hills Indians so far this season. 112-17. The Panthers would like to make that 24. As the give is to Hawkins, and he's got a yard or 2 up the middle on a little bit of a delay, but not a lot on first down. Make it a 3-yard pickup, make it 2nd and 7 for the Panthers at their own 27.
I have had the opportunity of seeing Hawkins play before. He is an excellent runner if he gets past the line of scrimmage. If you get a hit on him around the line of scrimmage, you can slow him down. But once he gets into the open field, he's a dangerous runner. So Penn Hills has to hit him early.
McCardle has Stein split to the near side and Jason Daly to the top of the screen, and he wants to throw the football. He goes over the middle to Eric Render, but the ball falls incomplete as Render was covered nicely on the play by the Upper St. Clair linebacker, by the Penn Hills linebacker Jeremy George, number 33, who's actually listed as a defensive end.
McCardle rolls right and throws back across the grain. Would have been a tough catch. Oh, he almost had it on the roll. That's what he was all disappointed about.
George put a shoulder into him, too, in the middle of that. But would have been very close to first down yardage. Instead, it's 3rd and 7 now for Mac McCardle.
They need to pick this first down up.
Jason Daly split to the far side. Pete Phillips on the flanker on the near side.
That's 2 men in motion.
Now Render will just switch spots, and they'll both stop. And here we go, split backs. McCardle rolling to his right, can throw on the run. Has Pete Phillips, but the ball thrown too far inside. The ball was almost picked off by number 40 for Penn Hills, and that's Don Shakia.
McCardle only 1 for 5. He hit on his first one, but he hasn't connected since.
And that sets up a punting situation for the Panthers. Once again, Jay Junko on to punt the football.
Well, Penn Hills had good pressure on him, flushed him out of the pocket. He threw that a little bit sooner. There you can see the receiver. He threw that sooner than he wanted to, but he really had no choice, and he was not open.
Looked like they were on the wrong page. Maybe Pete Phillips was trying to stay away from the defenders, and McCardle maybe expected him to be a little bit more inside as Thompson takes the punt and goes out across the 45-yard line to about the 48-yard line. We're going to take a break here with Penn Hills leading Upper St. Clair 14-0 in the Wpial Quad A Championship on Prime Sports. Indians band celebrating. They lead at 14-0. The Quad A final over the Upper St. Clair Panthers. And Panther defense, Dan, I don't know if we had some adjustments there, but Victor Strader stacked up on first down.
Penn Hills has been averaging about 6 yards per play. That's key, stopping them on first down.
Chris Tadaro in the middle of that one, number 34, the linebacker, along with Aaron Coe, Doug Blinn helping out as well. Tadaro goes out of the lineup as Upper St. Clair switches things around a little bit. We've got Matt Ellis, number 42, in there. Maybe a bit of more of a cover man, but heck, Penn Hills doesn't throw, so that's not the idea. Ellis at the linebacker spot on the near side. He's actually playing, I guess, on the corner. They'll pitch it to Strader, and he'll try the right side this time and picks a little bit more success. He picks up about 5 yards on the play, as Doug Blinn brings him down along with Jason Desson for Upper St. Clair. Earlier in the Class A championship, it was Farrell beating Monessen 30-14, making our producer Joe Magnu and his friends very happy. Of course, Burrell beating Wash High in the AA final in overtime. What a great game that was. And then, of course, Bell Vernon winning their first WPIAL championship over Franklin Regional in the AAA championship. And to give us to Thompson on the pitch, and Upper St. Clair defended that nicely. He's going to set up a punting situation here for Penn Hills. As number 45 for the Panthers up to make the play, Andy Tackix from his linebacker spot.
He did. You can see him. He slips through here, and he's the one who slows him down, and he gets some help from number, who was that? I didn't
Matt
see
Ellis,
that.
from Matt 42. Ellis.
So that was a great defensive stop, much needed for Upper St. Clair. There's a lot of time left in this game. This game is by no means over, though Penn Hills has dominated it early.
Stein and Hawkins deep to return Dave Zakia's punt. Zakia standing at his own 39. He'll punt it from about the 42. And it's off the side of his foot. Pete Phillips almost got hit by it, and then he falls on it. Now Upper St. Clair will take over at their own 24. A little scary play there for Pete Phillips. I didn't see that ball coming down.
You pretty much see this throughout today. These teams aren't really used to playing on AstroTurf, and it's a lot different fielding a punt on AstroTurf. One, you shouldn't let the ball bounce if you can avoid it. And two, you always got to be careful because you never do know where it's going to bounce.
Well, the other thing that might come out just real quickly here, Zakia punting the football, and it was an ugly punt off the side of his foot. My guess is he hasn't had much chance to punt the football this season.
Exactly.
Jason Daly split to the near side. Tim Stein to the far side. Render switches the tight end spot for Upper St. Clair McCardle. 1st and 10. Panthers their own 25. Option. Loose ball. McCardle gets it. Hawkins couldn't find it. And McCardle did get it back. Number 85 for Penn Hills was there. B.J. DiNatale from his defensive end spot. Almost had the recovery.
They actually had this set up pretty nice. There's the inside fake to the fullback. You can see if Hawkins had the ball, he had some room around the end. McCardle did a good job getting back on the ball. But it's going to put him in a hole at 2nd and 15.
Yeah, loss of 5 on the play from McCardle. He'll send Jason Daly to the far side of the field. Daly, the guy who almost didn't play football at Upper St. Clair this season, their leading receiver, has had a great year. The fake draw, and McCardle is in big trouble. Just they're going to call that an incomplete pass.
And that's a correct call. His arm was going forward.
That's what I was trying to say when my tongue went down the back of my throat there.
Pull it back out.
Yeah,
let's go.
We got it. That's going to set up 3rd and 15 for the Panthers. This incredible pressure there by the Penn Hills defensive line.
Here you see the blitz, number 26, I believe it is. There he goes. See, there's just a missed block by Hawkins.
Yeah.
He goes out into the play.
The fake right instead of taking the guy out, and the blitz came in. Number 26, Dorian Atkins. There's a draw, and Hawkins, a big run, but he's not going to get quite the 1st down yardage as he gets out across the 30-yard line.
And they have not picked up a 1st down yet.
I was just starting to wonder. No, they have not.
No, they haven't.
Just going to say, Dan, you know, anybody that's seen Coach Render's teams a lot knows he's pretty big on gadget plays. And would have thought, you know, maybe on 3rd and 15, but deep in your own territory, not always a good idea. Went with the draw. They didn't get it. Junko on to punt it. It'll be Strader. It's Thompson at the 35. Covered nicely by Upper St. Clair. The first man down there was number 30, Dan Emmerich, senior fullback.
Thompson did a good job of fielding that ball off the first bounce because, again, if he doesn't get it, it's going to roll about 10 or 15 more yards.
So Penn Hills will set up shop at their own 34-yard line here with 5:08 and ticking in the first half, leading 14-0 over the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Junior quarterback Len Gilmer. The pitch is to Thompson. It's real easy to know who gets the ball. It's either Thompson or Strader.
Take your pick. You got a 50-50 shot.
Occasionally, it's Garrett Livingston, the fullback. We have another injured Upper St. Clair Panther as the Penn Hills trainers quickly out onto the field. And here come the Upper St. Clair trainers across to look at him. And it's the big fellow, Jason Bassan, I believe. No, it's not Jason, because I see him standing at, we'll have to wait and see. '77. Justin Bear, 6'2", 255-pound junior. Yep, that's... Let's see if we can take a look here. On the left side of your screen here.
There he is, right behind Hawkins.
Yeah, Hawkins and Kern and big Penn Hills player, they all kind of converge. His right foot kind of rolled underneath him there. It doesn't look good for Justin Bear, at least for the rest of this football game. You know, as quickly as those Penn Hills trainers came off the bench, you knew it was something fairly obvious. And unfortunately, you can see there Justin's in a little bit of pain. More than a little bit, I would guess.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He's had a fine season for Upper St. Clair. It was left guard spot. That's going to, you know, we talk about the having trouble keeping out that up Penn Hills pressure. Now they lose left guard, starting left guard, and a big fella. It's a left ankle or left foot there, as you see him being carried off. That's a tough loss for the Panthers. Probably will mean that somebody else will just have to go two ways. My guess, we'll check that out when the Panthers get it back offensively. Aaron Coe, Alex Olshansky, and Jason Bassan, the front men on the defensive line in there now. I think it was Coe who replaced Bear in the lineup right now. The give play, it's going to set up, though, a third down and about 2.5, 3 yards to go.
Again, pretty good penetration by St. Clair's line, but Thompson's able to slide through there for 3 more yards for a third and about 3.
Approaching 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Damian Germany split to the near side, but they give us to the tailback Thompson, and he's stopped what appears to be short of first down yardage.
I think he's short, and that's going to put Coach Gordon in a tough spot.
David Kern and Aaron Coe on the tackle for Upper St. Clair, and
he's not going to hesitate. He's going to punt.
Now with a 14-0 lead, he's fairly comfortable. He's not going to play around a little bit here. It's a pretty smart move, one would guess. Of course, with Dave Zakia, I don't know, any gadget punting plays?
No, I don't think so. I think, if he wanted to go for it, he'd just line up and go for it the way they've been playing. But that's 2 good defensive stops for Upper St. Clair the last 2 series. They just need to get some first downs on offense.
Zakia gets his foot into that one pretty good, and Tim Stein calls for the fair catch. Hawkins fields it at the 25.
I don't know if you can do that. Well, one guy called for it and the other guy run with it.
Nice. So I think they're going to set it right at the 24, inside the 24. And there, Upper St. Clair will have 3 minutes and 12 seconds to see if they can get some offense going here. Just get a look there at Tim Timko, the defensive coordinator for the Penn Hills Indians.
I think he's arguing that that's an illegal fair catch.
Yeah.
Tim Stein signaled for the fair catch, that he didn't catch the ball. But they're just going to line it up and start from their own 24-yard line. They have to get some first downs here. I think they've only ran 8 plays so far.
Now they'll send Daly to the far side with Stein in the slot, split backs behind Mac McCardle. Comes Stein in motion, and Mac wants to throw it.
We better throw it in our hurry.
And he had Hawkins out there, but he just threw a little high. He couldn't quite get set up. Aaron Coe was out there to block. We're going to a little one-man quick screen. It appeared Upper St. Clair was trying to pull off there, but pass a little bit high for Hawkins.
Well, Ron Ron Graham just came in untouched, and McArdle had no time whatsoever. He turned around, and there he is in his face.
Yeah, he's amazing, isn't he?
And it was covered well, too. You can see the Penn Hills defender, number 23, Nick Brown. He was there.
Yeah. You see Graham, 3 sacks on the season. Thought he was real close to number 4 there. McArdle got the pass off, though. There's a draw, and that's got nothing on it as Bob Bunn is stacked right up as he went right into a wall of Penn Hills defenders. Led by big number 75.
We've spent a
Mike White.
good part of the first half talking about Penn Hills running the ball, but their defense has been unbelievable. This is a team, you know, that scores 31 points per game, Upper St. Clair. They've actually scored more points in the season than Penn Hills. Their defense has played superb.
Of course, Penn Hills defense throughout the season allowing just fewer than 10 points per game. They've really only been in 1 close game, so those defensive stats probably aren't real fair to the first team.
Exactly.
Hard to tell. You see Stein come in motion. 3 wide receivers from McArdle.
Pressure again.
Got the pass off quick,
Nice
and it looks
catch.
like a first down pickup. A real nice catch for Tim Stein.
And it is a first down.
And it's the first one for the Panthers in the first half with 2:21 to play.
This is just a great catch, and a good job by McArdle staying in there. There's 3 wide receivers. They all split, and really a great catch. Much needed for the first down. 2:19 left in the first half. Clock's running.
Stein with 12 receptions for 223 yards on the season now. A good year for him. Pete Phillips replaces Stein, goes in motion. Bunn the lone back. He's got Pete Phillips open, but couldn't complete the pass as Strader got over there quickly into coverage, and the pass kind of turned him around a little bit, Dan. So going to the air on 1st and 10 with 1:57 now. They'll have 2nd and 10. Obviously passing situations here. Let's take a look at this.
St. Clair offensive line did a nice job this time. McArdle had time to square. Puts the ball right there. Has to make the catch. It's a tough catch, but it's one they really needed to make. That would have given them the ball around midfield, but 2nd and 10.
Hawkins is in the slot on the far side. You see Stein go in motion. Bunn's the lone back. Hawkins runs a short pattern. You're going to look at Jason Daly in the turn-in route. He gets it, but it's only about a 4-yard gain for Upper St. Clair as Daly makes the catch. 28 receptions in the season for him. He's had a big senior year.
Clock continues to run at 1:30. St. Clair has all their timeouts. I would assume if they pick up the first down here, you'll see them start to use their timeouts.
3rd down and a long 6 from McArdle. Bunn and Hawkins behind him. Gonna fake it and try to go to Hawkins a little through the line and out. He was covered nicely on the play by Garrett Livingston, and the pass incomplete. So Upper St. Clair will punt the football away here with 1:10 to play in the first half, trailing 14-0.
I couldn't tell if that ball was tipped, but it was a wounded duck going out there. McArdle's 3 for 8. There's been a couple drops, but that ball just didn't look good. Here you see, there it is, tip. Yeah, that explains it.
Ball punted that time by David Nicholas. His first punt of the game. And with Penn Hills leading Upper St. Clair 14-0 in the Quad A Championship. We'll be back right after this message.
How's your business?
First down Indians at their own 40-yard line. They've got under 50 seconds to play here in the half.
Taking a shot at it.
Gilmer throwing his first pass. There's Victor Strader.
It's coming back.
Ellis in the covers. There is a flag in the backfield of Penn Hills. And Gilmer's first pass complete all the way down to the 20-yard line.
Well, don't get too excited because there's a flag down and it's coming back.
What would be a 39-yard pickup is going to come back, as Dan says. And, yep, that is the signal. It's a hold against the Penn Hills Indians.
I really like the call by Coach Gordon, though. Minute left on the clock. Why not take a shot? You know, put your speed guys on the outside and just throw it up. Gilmer threw a beautiful pass. He hit him right on the numbers.
See Ron Graham down there hugging one of the offensive linemen. And that's number 75, Mike White. Well, we might guess. Let's see if we can find Mike White in this replay.
There's the hold. You can see it. He tackles him.
Yep.
I mean, that was a good call.
And Ron's saying, listen, don't worry about it, Mike. We're up 14.
Nice catch by
Just keep blocking,
Schrader.
big fella. But this makes it real tough. 1st and 27 for the Indians, and they're going to go back to the ground. Olshansky with the hit, but not the right man. It's Colin Hawkins what made what looked like a touchdown-saving tackle on Dwayne Thompson. He picked up 17. Set up 3rd and 10.
Penn Hill's going to call timeout.
34 seconds to play in the half. Why not?
Well, they feel they dominated this first half, but they're only up 14-0. That's certainly not insurmountable. Again, St. Clair starts the second half with the ball. I think Coach Gordon would really like to tack another one on here. He just kind of slid that in there.
Boom.
There you see him. He was not touched until he was well into the secondary.
Now they put a big hit on Garrett Livingston instead of Thompson. And he picks up not the first down, but he picks up the 17 they lost on the penalty. WPIAL Championship Football is being brought to you by Vinyl Windows, committed to Pittsburgh for 3 generations. There's the story, 14-0. Penn Hill's over Upper St. Clair with just 34 seconds to play here in the first half. And Dan, the numbers I see, our stat man Bob Zupanik giving them to you, they're just racking them up.
Yeah, their stats are tough to keep for Penn Hill's.
Smoke coming out of Bob's ear over there.
Thompson with 98 yards on 18 carries.
Wow. That'll set up 4th down and a couple yards to go as Doug Blinn was able to stop Schrader before he got to the first down. As you see, Justin Bear.
Not a good sign.
Headed to the Upper St. Clair locker room on crutches.
Well, that was an interesting call, Sean, because it's kind of confusing as to why they called timeout.
Yeah.
You know, to just run the ball. They really have confidence in their running game, but
well,
you thought they would air it up and try and get another 7, but
Gilmer, what did we say? Only passed 45 times this season.
Yeah.
It would be up to 46, but it was called back. So that one
it's a pretty good-looking ball, though.
Yeah, it sure was. Right on target. Completed it. You know, we were wondering, watching him warm up when he was throwing the ball to the 50-yard line.
Yeah, he
straight
was.
at the goal line, throwing balls as far as he could. Didn't try any other passes. Well,
that was the only thing I saw him do.
Well, I think that's the only one they let him throw. He has 2 touchdown passes this season as well as 2 interceptions. Does Gilmer, 368 total yards passing as compared to McCardle, who passed for over 1,300 yards.
You know what, Sean? Quarterbacks do a lot more than throw the ball. And Gilmore has ran this offense well. And I'll take you back 2 plays ago on the play to Thompson. You know, just the play fake, carrying out the counter fake. No one knew Thompson had the ball, and you got to credit Gilmore with that. He's running those fakes, just like McKeesport last year, and their quarterback did a good job with play action.
Gilmore wants to throw it on 3rd and 3, and it's in and out of the hands of Garrett Livingston.
Well, now I think if you're St. Clair, they're forced to punt the ball. You might want to take a shot at this one and just send everybody.
Question is, with the line as big as Penn Hill's, can you get a shot?
You might not be able to, but I mean, you might as well. There's only 23 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, Gilmer had his man, threw it a little bit behind him, turned him around. Livingston was looking right in the face of David Kernan, thought better of catching it. Maybe not thought better of it, but he didn't catch it.
St. Clair has 2 guys back, so they don't really look like they're coming after it.
Stein and Hawkins, but they didn't get too close to it. Zakia gets it away. It'll be Stein at the 22. Looking for room, has a little bit. He's got around 1 man. He's going to go out of bounds about the 30-yard line and stop the clock with 13 seconds to play here in the first half. The question now is, does Coach Render put it up a few times or just take it to the locker room? It's only down 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think you put it up. Again, starting the second half with a ball is a big factor. You know, they're going to get the ball. They're only down 2 touchdowns. Don't waste any possessions. When you're down 2 touchdowns, you might as well use them.
Well, we'll see what Coach Render feels. Here comes McCardle into the huddle late with the play, so one would think they're going to try something, at least one play anyhow. Junior center Rick Prosco out over the football. Daly split to the far side. You see there Render and Pete Phillips switching. The flanker Phillips on the far side now as well. Split backs. McCardle back straight. Pumps and wants to go to Pete Phillips. He has him at the 48 for the completion with 6 seconds and a timeout called by the Panthers with 6 seconds to play, and Dan called it. It was a pretty good pickup, their second touchdown or second first down pickup of the half for the Panthers. WPIAL Championship Football is brought to you by Waynesburg College, where opportunities begin. Rollerblade and Rupp's Hockey Supply, 2 locations in Pittsburgh, south in Mount Lebanon, and north across from the Ross Park Mall. By Instant Replay Video Productions for all your video needs. And by Powerade, the official sports drink of the WPIAL. And if you're my nephew, you call that Powerade.
Well, we got 1st and 10 at the 50 with 6 seconds left. St. Clair has 2 timeouts left. They have a pretty good field goal kicker in Hawkins, but they're going to need about 30 yards for him to kick a field goal, but it's something to think of. The problem in high school is even if you throw it deep, throw it up for grabs and look for an interference, it's not at the spot of the foul. It's a yardage penalty, so you don't get that advantage like you get in the pros.
Well, it'll be interesting. We talked about it before. Coach Render, as you see him heading off the field, you see at the back of him anyway, he's quite an offensive innovator, and this is a pretty varied Upper St. Clair offense. See, maybe he has something he wants to try from midfield. Bunn is the lone back behind McCardle here. 1st and 10, just 6 seconds though. Stein streaking down this side. McCardle's going to tuck it in.
He's got a couple guys open.
Couple pumps. He's going to run out the clock though. He can't run for the touchdown, so that's going to end the first half of play. We'll see if the Panthers can get it going here in the second half. Zakia to kick it off for Penn Hills. And how about that? Mike White at 295 pounds is on the kickoff team for Penn Hills. He runs right down the middle of the field, and he moved well. It's Daly who finds room, and he's across the 35, the 40, and 45-yard line. A nice return. Upper St. Clair in business at their own 46, Dan, and that's a positive start for Coach Render's Panthers.
That's a real positive stop. And great job of blocking, too. They created a nice little seam for him up the middle. Then he saw some daylight on the outside, showed some good speed. Here it is again. You see, they tried to break the wedge up, but he made a nice cut here, and there's the lane. And then he sees it outside, and he has good speed, switches the ball over correctly, gets around the corner, and picks up about 15 more yards. That's a good start to the second half for St. Clair.
A nice block by Cullen Hawkins, the middleman on the return. So Mac McCardle with split backs behind him, 1st and 10. We'll see what the Panthers offense has in store. Start the second half. It's Hawkins on the pitch for the first time tonight out of that split backfield position. He's wrapped up by Jeremy George quickly and just barely got back to the line of scrimmage before they blew it dead.
Well, there was a missed block, and I'm not really sure who missed it. I didn't get the number, but the pitch was there, and I believe it was the guard or the tackle pulled, and for some reason he just didn't block the Penn Hills defender there and left Hawkins all by himself out there.
Yeah.
If he would have gotten that block, he could have cut inside and had some room to run.
Junior Ron Graham helped run him down. He and Jeremy George on the play for the Penn Hills defense, and it's been a great defense so far tonight. Second and a very long 9 for McCardle. He goes over the middle to Eric Render, and the pass is complete for a pickup of about 7 yards on the play. Almost 8. They got a good spot there. They'll mark it inside.
That's the play that I was, Sean, that was the play I was saying should be open in the first half because they're really bringing their linebackers, and really the only person back there for Penn Hills is number 40, and he's the only player back there. So if they just run the tight end consistently over the middle of the field, they should be able to pick up 5 and 7 yards at a chunk. Yeah,
Chiquilla, the safety, up to make the play. So it's going to be 3rd and about 3 here for McCardle and the Panthers. One back. It's only Hawkins back behind him. That's Bob Bunn. He gets a fake blitz from the backside. McCardle in trouble. Oh, tried to get it to Hawkins. It falls incomplete. Hawkins covered on the play by number 19, Charles Britt. You see Bunn go down as, oh, you gotta hope he doesn't pull a muscle on that. He slipped on what appears to be the wet paint there as dew on the field at this point of the evening.
It wouldn't have mattered though. Garrett Livingston was coming from the other side, and again he was unblocked. Another linebacker blitz that nobody picked up.
Curtis Crawford came from the near side as well. And the punt is a good one, and it's going to roll down inside the 5-yard line. And David Nicholas has picked up the punting duties for Upper St. Clair. It's the second time in a row he's punted the football, the junior, and they're going to down it at the 5. Penn Hills will start off on offense when we come back. Quarterback Len Gilmer brings Penn Hills to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10 at their own 5. Panthers in need of a defensive stop here, but the give on is to the fullback on the first play. Now that's the tailback, Dwayne Thompson, on the carry, and he's busted out across the 10-yard line for a good 8-yard pickup, and it's going to set up 2nd and short. Dan, it was an opportunity here for Upper St. Clair to stop and pick up some field position.
Exactly similar to what happened to Penn Hills in the first half. They picked up a couple first downs, punted St. Clair down into, bad field possession, but they were able to hold St. Clair. Now St. Clair has to hold Penn Hills.
Thompson now over 100 yards on the night, rushing at 106. As the first down is picked up. And Upper St. Clair, a bit of a missed opportunity, though it's not over yet. Penn Hills is not out of there.
No.
They're still at their own 15-yard line.
Not by any stretch. They just need to buckle down on this series right here. Here you see it, 20 rushes for 109 yards. I believe Strader at halftime had 62 yards on only 13 carries.
Strader and Thompson with 1 touchdown each here in this game. The give is, Gilmer gives it again. This is Strader, though, over the right side. He picked up about 5 on that carry. David Nicholas, the linebacker, who also we just noted was in as a punter, helped to make the play from the backside. Doug Blinn gets the first hit on him. He actually pulls him down, and Nicholas just comes over late. Nicholas and Bob Bunn are
I think you're going to see a long run here, Sean, because now St. Clair is starting to sell out on the run. Their linebackers are coming in. A Penn Hills back is able to break you through the line of scrimmage. There's a lot of room.
Strader almost broke that one, but he just got enough to get the first down as he was forced out of bounds on the far side by Pete Phillips and Colin Hawkins. Keith Grover, number 59, in there on the defensive line, also helped to run outside there. He and Olshansky. There's more speed on the Panthers defensive line. They're trying some different tactics here. I think, of course, they did lose a player in the first half in Justin Bear, but it looks like a little less size, a little more speed. See how that'll work against this big Penn Hills offensive front.
Strader now up to 73 yards for the game.
They still do have big Jason Bassan in there, but Grover and Olshansky, the men in the middle for Upper St. Clair, as they try the middle once again, does Penn Hills. And it's the fullback this time.
This really has to be frustrating for Coach Render because now they're bringing everybody. The backers are coming, and Penn Hills is still picking up yardage. Garrett
Livingston got 3 on that one. That'll set up 2nd and 7 at their own 31-yard line for the Indians. Looking for their first WPIAL championship since 1979.
Quarterback keeps it.
Gilmer around the end, and he can run the football. In fact, he's run for almost as much yardage as he has thrown. That's his 45th carry of the season. He's over 130 yards game. He's close to a first down. They're going to measure.
You see Gibson just straight on blocking. That time he missed his guy, but the play was going the other way. Really going away from him. He didn't play much of a part in that play.
Let's see as they bring the sticks out whether or not he made the first down here. And it is very short. It's
3rd and short.
Yep. So this is a big down here for the Upper St. Clair defense if they could force Penn Hills to punt, obviously, trailing by 2 touchdowns. They'd love to do that here and maybe pick up some yardage in the field position wars. And a first down here would be awful tough with 7:24 to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Penn Hills 2 for 7 on 3rd down attempts. They haven't had many 3rd down attempts. They've been picking up first downs on 1st and 2nd.
Upper St. Clair with everybody up at the line, and they'll go over the right side. Penn Hills will and get the first down. That's Dwayne Thompson on the carry from his tailback spot as he follows the blocks of his lead backs, and Gibson Gibson didn't really hit anybody there, Dan. That's a couple plays where he's just kind of been losing his balance. I wonder if it's speed.
Well, I haven't seen Ronnie Graham come back onto the field.
Yeah.
He got hurt on the last play of the first half. He's usually the lead blocker. And I don't think he's, let me see if he's in there now. Now I see him in there.
Yeah, I was going to say he made the tackle
there he is.
on Upper St. Clair's first series. He blitzed, and he and George made the tackle on that quick pass to Hawkins or pitch to Hawkins on the outside.
He limped off pretty good at the end of the first half. He seems to be all right now.
Pick up there of about 3 yards. That'll set up 2nd and 7 for Penn Hills at their own 42-yard line. Clock turning, under 6.5 minutes to play third quarter. Damian Germany split to the far side of the field, but kind of inconsequential with the way Penn Hills runs the football. As Andy Tackett's up to make the play there with some help from Matt Ellis. Again, they made a couple big plays late in the first half, and number 42 and 45, or 45 and 42, Tackett is 45. 5'10", 170-pound senior.
But if you're Thompson and Strader, you'd much rather go one-on-one with a cornerback or a safety rather than a linebacker or defensive tackle.
Matt Ellis playing the corner on the near side, and Tackett's the outside linebacker down here. 3rd and 6 for the Indians, option pitch. And there's a loose football. Bob Martin has it. And Dan, that could be the break that Coach Render and the Upper St. Clair Panthers have been looking for.
Well, that's a big break. It's kind of strange to see him run the option. I don't recall them running that at all so far, but here you see it.
Gilmer's pitch is a little bit behind Thompson. He couldn't handle it.
It wasn't a good pitch, but it could have been handled. And again, the ball, once it hits the turf, you never know where it's going to go, and it bounced into the St. Clair's defender's hands. And now they got a good opportunity to close a gap.
So Upper St. Clair 1st and 10 at the Penn Hills 35. Tim Stein in motion. McCardle on the counter play to Hawkins. He faked it, and he's going to throw it to back. Play just tipped and then intercepted. And that's a touchdown for the Penn Hills Indians.
55 yards.
A touchdown scored by number 85, DJ Dinatale, the defensive end. He picked it up and took it back.
Christmas came early for BJ. That ball just came right into his hands again. It was great pressure on McCardle. We'll have to see if it was tipped or whether, I think as he was being tackled, he just couldn't get much on the ball. We'll have to take a look at it.
It appeared to me at first that it was tipped, and here we'll get a look at it.
Here you see the pressure again.
That's White. No, not
that
tipped.
Wasn't tipped. Again, he just got tackled as he was throwing the ball and couldn't get anything behind it.
Well, kind of tough to throw it with a 295-pound guy on your shoulder, huh?
No doubt.
Sakia on to attempt the extra point. It's up. And
it's down.
Blocked. Didn't even get that one up, so Penn Hills leads it 20-0 here with 5:10.
Here you see it again. Look, there's number 75, Mike White, just barreling through.
Boom. Right to him. He had Bob Bunn sneaking out. They faked it to Hawkins and tried to get it to Bunn.
Bunn was open, and he had blockers.
Dinatale off to the races. Puts Penn Hills up 20-0 with 5:10 to play in the third quarter of this WPIAL Quad A Championship game on Prime. We'll be back. Committed to Pittsburgh for 3 generations. Sakia's kickoff taken by Jason Daly. He had a big run the last one. He's got a room on the far side. Great move. He gets around the side of 30, the 35-yard line, and again, Upper St. Clair in good operating position for their offense. But they had what looked like a great Christmas gift and just a great play by White. And Dinatale really kind of soured the thing.
That's a late hit.
3 touchdowns here. Dan got a late. Should have maybe been a flag there.
It definitely should have been a flag. He was 2 yards out of bounds when he got hit. I don't know what the ref was looking at. He was standing there watching it. Regardless, St. Clair starts from their own 32, 33-yard line. But as you said, John, they had a great opportunity getting the fumble. They were right back in this game. But unfortunately, the defensive pressure of Penn Hills, which has been the story all game, causes a turnover right back and an easy touchdown.
High formation set to give us the Hawkins on the draw. And that's the second time that play's worked rather well. As Helen Hawkins' second sizable run of the night, really only. He gets it out about 7 or 8 yards out to the 38-yard line, across the 38, almost to the 39. It's going to set up 2nd and 3 here for Upper St. Clair.
Well, again, this play should work. They put such good defensive pressure on them. A draw is a good way of counterattacking pressure from the linemen and the linebackers. You know, one of the problems St. Clair's had is they've gotten a little bit too fancy with the play fakes and, you know, the reverses and so forth. You know, McArdle's rolling one way, throwing back the other. They need to start doing things a little quicker. He's getting too much pressure on them.
Solid block there by Matt Woodford, number 55, the junior. Hawkins picks up the first down out across the 45-yard line. And he got drilled, as Dan said, good hit.
Oh, man.
And it was made by number 19, Charles Britt for Penn Hills. He's a quarterback. He's a junior. He's a backup quarterback for this team. He's also a hitter. Must be a flag on the play. They're taking their time moving the sticks. Are they going to talk it on? I don't see a flag.
Dead ball.
Yep, comes the signal.
Personal
dead ball.
foul.
Personal foul that
Against
time.
the defense.
They got that one on the far side, Dan.
First down.
That's going to take it 15 more. And Upper St. Clair will be down on the Penn Hills 40 just like that.
Well, I think they're a play late with that, but there are 2 plays late with that, because that one looked clean. I'm not sure if that was, if the call was on the tackle or there was something else that we didn't see. But.
Right. See Coach Render and Tim Stein. The senior wide receiver flanker for Upper St. Clair brings the play in. Mac McArdle heads out to the far side. Got Jason Daly and Hawkins. Hawkins in the slot on the near side as Stein comes in motion. Daly's out of your picture, way to the bottom of the screen. McArdle wants to throw it on first down. And he's looking to Daly in the turn-in route. Pick up about 8. We'll see where they mark it. He had about an 8-yard reception. Jeremy George, though, pushing him back.
Those are the kind of plays I think St. Clair needs to run, Sean. Nothing fancy. Just roll them out to the right, bide them a couple seconds. Take the 7-8-yard gain. That's fine. Just work your way downfield. There you see the rollout. This time Mac has time to set up, and he puts it right on the numbers. Where they've been getting in trouble is when he's been faking twice to both backs or rolling right and coming back to the left. They just need to run things a little quicker because he doesn't have the time tonight, and he's not going to have it. Penn Hills is just putting way too much pressure on him. Right,
and with that, Penn Hills defensive coach Tim Timko wants to talk about it. They've taken a timeout here. Their first of the second half with 3:46 to play in the third quarter. Penn Hills leading Upper St. Clair 20-0. Buick, the prize fighter on Route 51 in Belle Vernon. 2nd and 4 for the Panthers at the 34. McArdle fakes the pitch and goes deep. Has Eric Render.
That should be interference.
An early hit in the flag. The official went down.
That's a good call.
Out, and it's going to be an interference call. Upper St. Clair, not first and goal because it's 15 yards in high school. Boy, if this were the pros, they'd really be in good shape, Dan.
Yeah, it is, and really, if you're a defender and you're beating high school, that's what you should do.
Yeah.
You know, just go after the guy and tackle him because, again, it's a yardage penalty and not at the spot of the foul. I've never understood that rule. I think it's crazy because he's clearly beat on this play. McArdle throws a beautiful ball, and if not for the interference,
would have been a touchdown for Eric Render. Instead, or at least inside the 5.
I mean, that's what you should do if you're in the secondary in high school. Just tackle him, and he was beaten. That's exactly what he did.
Victor Strader in the coverage. Render got behind him, but Strader was quick enough to catch up enough to knock him down.
You know, instead of getting the ball at maybe the 4 or 5 yard line, you know, they're on the 19-yard line. So actually a good play by Penn Hills to prevent the long pass.
High formation set. 1st and 10 at the 19 for the Panthers. Down 3 touchdowns. Hawkins on the counter
outside. He's got room.
Following big Jason Bisson. He's got first down. He's got 4-2. And he's shut down at the 1-yard line. But what a run. The longest run of the game for Colin Hawkins, an 18-yarder.
Sean, if you remember earlier in the game, I said they were in that play and they missed the block. Well, that time they made the block.
Right.
And that time Hawkins did what the play is designed to do, cut inside the defensive end and cut it upfield. Here you see it. Here's the key block. You see the lineman pulling right there. That's the block that enables him. Now he's just trying to get that big number 75.
Jason Bisson
out of his way, and Jason goes downfield and creates some problems. And a nice play. Again, that's the difference between making that kickout block and missing it.
6'8", 270, and he's a junior. full house backfield for Upper St. Clair. Bob Bunn's going to take it in for the touchdown. Dan Emmerich was in there at the right half. Bunn gets the 1-yard touchdown run for Upper St. Clair.
That's something.
8 touchdowns on the season for him.
Yeah, if you've scouted St. Clair, that's something they like to do. Bunn gets the ball a lot around the goal line for his 8th touchdown. That's good blocking right there. Straight on blocking. Tackle did an excellent job clearing out the way.
Hawkins' extra point attempt is up, and it's good. Upper St. Clair's on the scoreboard here with 3 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. And we had a feeling that this wasn't going to be completely as the first half went in this game. It's 20-7. They're back in it with 3 minutes to play here. Have a little bit of offensive confidence. Got the big boost from Penn Hill's penalties. 4 times they've been penalized in this game already for 48 yards. And that's going to haunt them, or at least it's haunting them so far.
Well, St. Clair is a powerful offensive team. It was just a matter of time till they broke something open. Again, with a good quarterback and a good running back, you're due to break something. That time, both the quarterback, McArdle, made some nice plays on that drive, and then the big run from Hawkins. You know, the passing opened things up a little bit. They hit Render down the middle. The deep pass stretched the defense, and then they were able to slide Hawkins down the middle and outside.
So Hawkins will kick the football off here with Dwayne Thompson deep to receive it. The middleman standing at his own 6-yard line. Victor Strader on the far side, and Damian Germany on the near side, number 2.
That missed extra point might mean something down the stretch here, Sean. Again, it's only 20-6.
Yeah, and Germany falls down and loose, obviously, as soon as his knee touches. So Penn Hill's going to start out their own 17-yard line as Hawkins kicked a line drive. It was tough to handle. Germany kind of fell on it. And gives the opportunity again for that Upper St. Clair defense, which is playing better here in the second half, and ever since really the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, about midway through the 2nd quarter, they made some adjustments. Probably the biggest was slowing Penn Hill's down on 1st down. You know, they've stopped them early in this series. Again, they're only down 13 points at 20-7.
Split backs. Here comes Strader on the pitch.
He's got room. Nice run.
Picked up about 8 yards on the play before Hawkins and David Kern, with help from Matt Ellis, able to force him out on the near side.
What's impressive about Penn Hills is, as big as they are, when they pull these Lyman, White, and the other guys, they're still able to get outside and get in front of these fast halfbacks.
Kind of curious, and I don't know if you're able to tell, but the Panthers alternating outside linebackers on the near side, Takix and Tadaro. And I don't know, it's not play-by-play, although Takix just comes in for this play. Maybe it's yardage situation. I'm not sure as to what they're doing. But, you know, we talked about their defense improving. They've also made some changes on the defensive line as Kern was able to make the stop there, but not before Victor Strader was able to pick up the 1st down for Penn Hills. It's at the 33. The Indians on the roll once again as you see Matt Ellis go to the bench, being replaced by big number 70, Greg Korsen. So they add another defensive lineman to the Panthers. 6-man front. And they give us the fullback. They went short yardage, and it worked. Korsen at the bottom of the pile, able to bring down the fullback, Garrett Livingston. Yes, I had the right idea in the first place.
But you're right. They're just changing it up. They're changing personnel a lot. They're coming with a 6-man front. You know, the risk you take in coming with a 6-man front is it opens up around the ends. And if you're Penn Hills, you want to audible to something wide.
Maybe they're trying to give Glenn Gilmer some different looks. It's 2nd and 8 here. He goes to the tailback, and I don't know if that was a face mask, but that was, if it wasn't, that guy's got awful strong hands.
I was going to say, I hope we have a replay on that, because he reached out and grabbed something.
Pulled him down with one hand.
Maybe just got him above the shoulder pad.
Watch number 85 here. No, not 85. That's it. His shoulder pad. Good play, Jason Bisson. Well, I guess when you're 6'8", 270, you're a pretty strong man.
Yeah.
And the big tackle, Junior, made the play, and that sets up 3rd and 4 here for Penn Hills. 1:15 to play in the 3rd quarter. Panthers need a stop defensively. Penn Hills needs a 1st down to keep things going. They're not going to get it.
Good stop.
Later dropped. Greg Korsen, number 70, was defensive line spot. The senior 230-pounder slashed behind him and cut him down. So Zakia's going to have to punt the football, and a little momentum swinging Upper St. Clair's way here, Dan.
Yeah, and what's been impressive about it is the momentum turned after the interception for the touchdown, and they were down 20-0. Again, we mentioned how they've been in this game before. They might not panic.
Right.
I think most teams would have right then.
Flag on the play, and I believe that'll push the Indians back another 5 yards. The whistles blew before the play started. Somebody jumped.
Dead ball foul. Ball start.
Illegal
On
motion
the offense. 5 yards. Still 4th down.
against Penn Hills, and that's over 50 yards of penalties now against Penn Hills. Something you don't see a lot of Jim Render teams doing.
No, you
Of course,
don't.
he doesn't tolerate it very well, as most coaches don't.
You don't get to the championship that many times in a row by,
Right.
you know,
Fourth
getting a
and
lot of
9.
penalties.
I'm sure Coach Gordon doesn't like it either. There's a low punt, and Hawkins fields it on the run. He's across the 50 and into Penn Hills territory to the 45.
That was just a great play by Hawkins.
To field that.
To feel it, to pick it off, you know, off his shoe tips. Because again, if that ball bounces, it's gone. And in addition to making the catch, here's the catch.
Hard
You
and
know,
low.
he still is able to pick up 15 yards on the return. So that's a great play by Hawkins.
He broke the tackle of a big fella. Corey Connors had him around the hips, and Hawkins, you talked about it. If he gets moving a little bit, he can break tackles. He broke one there and sets up Upper St. Clair 1st and 10 at the Penn Hills 45. With 20 seconds to play here in the 3rd quarter, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. I formation set behind McCardle, Bunn and Hawkins. Daly split the other way. They fake it to Hawkins. McCardle wants to throw it. He's got Tim Stein in the middle of the field. Open.
He caught it. Oh,
What a catch. Tim Stein, 1st and goal, Upper St. Clair. And, you know, as I said, he was open. Penn Hills really reacted nicely on the play. Number 19, Britt, got there in time. And Strader was back in coverage. I mean, they were there. Stein just wanted the football more.
The ball was just a little bit underthrown, but give McCardle credit for giving his receiver a chance. But you can see the defender's there. Then he gets help.
That's
From the other side, he comes over, and there's really 2 defenders there.
Yeah.
Stein just went up and got the ball. A great play.
Thompson, Britt, all there. And Stein wanted it. So at the end of the 3rd quarter, Upper St. Clair in scoring position, down by 2 touchdowns in the Quad A championship game. Will be championship football game between the Panthers of Upper St. Clair and the Penn Hills Indians. And Upper St. Clair has been here now. This is our 5th year seeing them here. They've been here 7 out of the last 8 seasons. They've won the title in 2 of those. And they're looking for it, making a dent into that Penn Hills lead here, as they've got 1st and goal at the Penn Hills 3-yard line here to start the 4th quarter. And it was Tim Stein, just a terrific catch.
Well, Sean, when you get to a game of this magnitude, people have to make plays. Someone has to come through, and Tim Stein just came through big time to make that play.
He sure did. McCardle, you saw him in that replay right before we went to the commercial. He left his feet and threw that ball so hard. Full house backfield again. It's going to go to Hawkins.
He's in.
He's going to bang it in there.
It's a new game.
3-yard touchdown run. And as Dan said, we've got a new football game with the extra point attempt coming here. Hawkins will be kicking it. And if he makes it, it's a 20-14 football game with plenty of time. We're just under with that was 3 seconds off the clock. So we got a whole quarter of football to go.
It's a lead back. There's a fake to the fullback.
Fun.
And there it is to Hawkins. And
Right
good.
in there.
That was really, that's blocked.
Extra point attempt there you see up and no
Great
good.
play.
As it was blocked by the Penn Hills defense. But this sets up a real wild finish, does it not? With both teams having missed an extra point. It's a 20-13 football game.
Here's the touchdown. They did the same time. They really did the same thing the last time they scored a touchdown. They went over right tackle. He owned his man on the last touchdown, and he owned his man on this one. McCardle 3 for 4 for 55 yards this half. Again, the Stein catch really added to that. That was 43 of those yards.
Also a big block by number 85, Doug Blinn, the tight end on the right side. Was in there in the 2 tight end set for Upper St. Clair.
Great job of Penn Hills to block that kick, though.
It sure was. And
I didn't see who got their hand on it. I don't know if it was
we were a little
86 Walter Jackson or not, but
At 5'8", 143, I don't know. But if it was an 80, it was a high 80 number, I'm guessing Graham at 6'4" would have had a better shot at it. Who knows? Or B.J. DiNatale at 6'2". Whomever it was a big play. It was them, one of them guys in red out there.
Yeah, they did a nice job.
Cullen Hawkins set to kick it with Dwayne Thompson back to return it. Hawkins isn't going to let him do that. He's going to go to Germany again, this time on the hop. Actually, that's not Germany. He was replaced at Strader. They switch sides. Strader returns it, gets to about the 24 before the Upper St. Clair coverage team pushes him back. So Penn Hills, now, Dan, we talked about it all game long, how Upper St. Clair was going to have to do something offensively. Penn Hills with 11:50 to go in this game, leading by 7. Needs to do something offensively to turn the momentum.
I think one of the things they have to do is to go back outside. I think St. Clair has adjusted between the tackles. As I said, they've been playing a lot of 6-men fronts, and that, to me, leaves the outside vulnerable, and I think they should start trying to kick the ball outside again.
Strader and Thompson in there. Big Corey Connors in at fullback, number 6.
He's faking. He's wide open.
Number 33.
I mean,
George running wide open.
Wide open.
Field. The Panther defensive backs were sucked in by the run fake. Hawkins and Stein just let George run free.
There you see, no one's even looking at him. Then it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah. Uh-oh, it's right. You see that big Buffalo backfield these Penn Hills Indians went with there. I believe that's number 69 lined up at fullback. They got 2 big guys now there, as well as 89. And there's the give to Thompson. He's going to pick up a couple. But that's going to set up 3rd and long here for the Penn Hills Indians, as Upper St. Clair was still able to stop that up. Jason Passan at the bottom of the pile, the big fella, holding his ground along with some help from Greg Korzen for Upper St. Clair. This is going to be an interesting position here for Coach Gordon, Dan, at 3rd and 8, and when they need a first down.
Yeah, and I think they're going to run the ball again.
Split backs, Livingston and Strader. They give us a Strader. He's going to come. He's got room. He's got first down yardage and more.
That's a late hit, too.
David Kern's going to get called for it.
That's a good call.
Be a big break. It's going to be down inside Upper St. Clair territory all of a sudden.
That's a big play, Sean. We're talking 3rd and 8.
Personal foul, late
there
hit.
you see him. He does get outside again. I think that's vulnerable.
First down.
He picks up the first down. You can see he's clearly out of bounds.
Yeah.
It is tough to stop when you're coming full speed, but you have to do everything you can to avoid that because it's an easy call.
Yeah, and you're trying to go on constantly full speed trying to slow these guys down. Damian Germany did a good job holding off Pete Phillips and just long enough for a Strader to make the move and pick up the first down. So it's 1st and 10, Penn Hills at the Upper St. Clair 44-yard line.
Now Strader has gone over 100 yards, or I'm sorry, he's at 100 yards on 20 carries.
Thompson back in there at tailback in the power eye set. He gets 4 on that play. Right up the middle.
What a turnaround that 3rd down play was. It was 3rd and 8. They were on their own about 32-yard line. They pick up the first down and the penalty, and now they start on St. Clair's 44-yard line. Big turnaround. 2nd
and 6 at the 40 here for Lynn Gilmer, the junior quarterback, who has tried to throw 2 passes here tonight. Dan, one of them incomplete, the other one called back. He goes deep all the time. There's Strader on the counter. He goes up the middle for about 4. Before the Panthers were able to kind of slow the moving pile. It's more so a moving pile when they go up the middle than it is a back run on the ball, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a mass of flesh. I mean, they just, crowd everybody in there and just push you forward. And if you're a defensive lineman, you really have your work cut out for you.
3rd and 3. Penn Hills needs to get to the Upper St. Clair 34.
Well, they're in 4-down territory, so they're going to have 2 downs to do it.
Loss on this play is Strader's caught in the backfield. Came from the outside. Andy Tackix came from one side. Bob Bunn from the other. The linebackers able to make the play.
And that's a great play because, again, if they're really crowd in the middle and there's their, 2 lead blockers, come from the come from the outside, bring your outside backers, and that's exactly what they did.
And they've got those big guys in the backfield leading the blocks.
They are going to punt. I'm kind of surprised. I thought they would go for it.
Zakia set to punt the ball from his own 48-yard line.
38.
Hawkins and Stein are from the Upper St. Clair 40. Yeah. That ball's going to roll dead about it's not going to, about the 8-yard line here. So Upper St. Clair will take over from there when we come back. Down by 7 points with 8:46 to play. Cardinal, not great field position here, Dan. First and 10 at his own 9-yard line. They need a drive to tie this game up, and they've got plenty of time to do it. McCardle to throw on first down. Hits Daly on the near sideline and is out of bounds for a completion, but a pickup of about 8 yards and some breathing room offensively.
Sean, tough decision by Coach Gordon on that last fourth down. They had about 4th and 3 to go for the first down. This is what St. Clair needs to do. A quick drop.
Yep.
You know, a little 6-yard out pattern. Just nickel and dime your way down the field.
It's almost a 9-yard pickup. We'll make it 8. It's going to be 2nd and 2 here for the Panthers. It's a short 2, though. Daly split to the near side. I formation set behind McCardle. Pete Phillips in motion. Hawkins on the counter, has room. Across the 20 and out of bounds. Forced out by Garrett Livingston for Penn Hills, but not before Cullen Hawkins has the Upper St. Clair first down at the 22.
Little delay of a handoff to give the right guard and right tackle time to pull. They came around the corner leading Hawkins. Did a good job still in the corner. He picked up the first down.
Cameraman J.C. Smith kind of bailed out. He didn't want to take on Hawkins. I can't say that I blame him. J.C.'s not quite the 6 foot, 180 pounds that Hawkins is.
But a first down for St. Clair gives them a little bit of breathing room.
Stein and Render switch and fake to Hawkins. Quick pass to Bob Bunn, the fullback, with the reception. Another first down across the 33-yard line out to about the 34. A nice quick play, another quickie, Dan. They're just throwing the quick short ones, as you talked about.
Yeah, and a good job by Coach Render today of really changing things. You know, they had trouble defensively early on. They corrected some of that. They had trouble offensively in the first half. Well, they've changed things. You know, they're throwing short patterns, throwing to the backs, throwing square outs. You know, so good job of coaching during the game to get your team out of some rough spots.
You know, we've talked about it. Penn Hill's a team with the greater speed, but, you know, these defenders are always chasing Upper St. Clair receivers. These plays very well designed as Bob Bunn came out of the backfield for that reception in front of Garrett Livingston. This is Hawkins. Another big pickup for him as he's got 13 yards. And Cullen Hawkins, the senior for Upper St. Clair, 1,600 yards this season, and he's moving up on 1,700. After a slow first half, he's starting to wake up a little bit and get some room to run, Dan.
Again, a nice kick-out block on the defensive end. Seals the corner. He cuts it upfield, breaks a tackle there to pick up 5 more. Runs through another tackle to pick up 3 more. Sean, really the key is, as we said before the game, St. Clair has nice balance. They just didn't get the ball very much in the first half.
Right.
Penn Hills dominated. They had the ball the whole first half. Now they've had the ball in the second half, and the balance is really starting to confuse Penn Hills. They're on their heels a little bit. They're not sure if they're going to throw the ball, run the ball, and I think their ability to throw the ball has opened things up for Hawkins.
You know, what would Yogi Berra say, deja vu all over again, or somebody said something like that somewhere along the line, but weren't we in this position last year? Upper St. Clair driving,
exactly.
7:18 to play in the game, trailing a great McKeesport team. They're a touchdown behind here against Penn Hills. 20-13 is the score. You are watching WPIAL Championship Football on Prime, and it's being brought to you by Computer Tech. Prepare for your career in the computer industry at Computer Tech, where you earn a specialized associate degree in just 18 months. First and 10 Panthers. Jason Daly split to the near side with Stein, the flanker, on the far side. It's the Hawkins on the counter. He's across the 50 and into Penn Hills territory for a pickup of about 4 yards on first down.
Sean,
Coors in the block. Huh?
It is similar to last year's game because McKeesport was dominating St. Clair early in the game. it was the same kind of situation. St. Clair had to start changing up things, and then they made a late charge like they're doing again tonight.
Hawkins came up a little gimpy after that tackle. We'll have to see as he kind of tender-footed coming out of the huddle here. Split backs here on 2nd and 6 for the Panthers. I don't know if that was an audible by Mack or not, but Render turned around and looked at Hawkins a little bit. The little flare pass incomplete as Hawkins didn't catch the football. Garrett Livingston ready there to read him if he had.
Yeah, and I think he thought that Livingston was there because he took his eye off the ball. He looked upfield a little too soon. He knew someone was coming.
That sets up a 3rd and 6 now for the Panthers. It's a real long 6. They need to get all the way down to the Penn Hills 43 for a first down from just inside the 50.
And again, they're in a predicament of whether they have 2 downs to get to first, or are they going to punt if they don't get it here? Let's see what happens on 3rd down.
6.5 minutes to play. Phillips comes in motion. Daly split to the top of the screen. McCardle's looking to throw, and he can run for it.
He can run for it.
Can he get to the first down marker? He's got the first down marker.
He's going to hold on to it this time, I bet.
Does not lose the football, and you saw Eric Render signal it. It's a first down, Upper St. Clair inside the Penn Hills 40.
Sean, the play was designed left. It was a 3-step drop. McCardle was looking to the left side. Nobody was open, and he rolled right. Here you see it. Just a quick drop. 1, 2, 3. He's looking right there. Nobody's there, so he knows I'm in trouble. I better get out of this pocket. And then there was plenty of room around the right side.
He got faster all of a sudden. Did you see that?
He's a good runner. You know, we've seen him during the course of the year. He's got good speed and good moves.
Yeah.
He's a tough kid, too. You can see him plowing ahead for a couple extra yards.
Just 5'10", 160 pounds, but a lot of that is heart. 1st and 10 Panthers as Hawkins takes
He's got room.
He's
got a lot of room.
Eric Render, he's got a block. He tripped over Eric's foot, though, and went down just inside the 15, but a pickup of 15 yards.
Sean, hard to believe, but Upper St. Clair now has more total yards than Penn Hills.
Yeah.
They've gotten a lot of mileage out of this counter tray where they just kick it out. And there you see Render. See if he trips over his foot right there.
Yeah.
He probably wouldn't have gotten too much more yardage anyway, but now all of a sudden Cullen Hawkins has become a factor. 14 rushes for 89 yards.
You talked about the changes they made. There's a tight end leading on that counter tray instead of the tackle. So the Panthers are mixing things up offensively. 1st and 10 at the Penn Hills 25. Pete Phillips in motion. Looked like Render moved a little early, but no call. Same play. Hawkins picks up 4.
Well, counter tray is a good play to run against an aggressive defense because you're really suckering the defense into pursuing, and as soon as that defensive end comes upfield, you know, someone pulls and knocks him out of the way.
Yeah, you don't fool everybody too much. So watch number 89, Ronnie Graham, the outstanding linebacker, the junior from Penn Hills, who was able to get Hawkins after the 4-yard gain. Oh, that's 28. Had the wrong guy. 28 made the play.
That's Livingston, and he's been all over the field tonight.
Yeah, he sure has been.
He doesn't get the notoriety of some of the other players on this team, but he's a heck of a football player.
He's the other inside linebacker. 2nd and 7 yards. A gain of a long 3 for Hawkins. There's a give to bunt up the middle. That's the first time they popped anything of sizable note up the middle. It just got pushed back by Dina Tolley and Ronnie Graham. But a decent pickup for the fullback. And see the Panthers rooters on the stands are kind of shaking things up here at Three Rivers.
It's a good play to run. You know, you want to make the defense stay awake and keep aware of your fullback. But again, they're in a tough spot. It's 3rd and about 5.
From the 19, and as Dan talked about, they're in 4-down territory now. We're under 5 minutes to play in this football game. It's an interesting call here. Phillips and Render switch sides. Great fake. McCardle's going to run for it again. He had to jump over a blocker. Great course and just, oh no, the football is loose. And Penn has the football.
You know, it's a shame. He should have just gone to the carpet because he had the first down, but he just kept dancing around until finally he lost the football.
See who knocked it out. A great play by the Penn Hills defense.
But it is a shame because, as you can see, he has the first down. It's a good move there to get away from the Penn Hills defender. And here's where he starts getting a little too cute. You know, he could have just gone down and gotten the first, but he's fighting hard, and there you see it stripped.
Nice play. Damian Germany, the defensive back flanker, is limping off the field. Comes off after making a big play. 4:19 to go in this one. Power eye set for Penn Hills as they want to run this clock out. They'll go right up the middle and try to do it that way. And they pick up 9 yards on the first down play. And that's Dwayne Thompson.
Well, this is a championship time right now. And if Penn Hills wants to win this championship, all they have to do is to hold on to the football and pick up some first downs. St. Clair has all 3 timeouts. That was Upper St. Clair's 3rd turnover tonight. They've all been costly.
They have that. Thompson again, big hole.
It's almost like the air has gone out of St. Clair's sails. That was their last drive, and I just think they're down a little bit right now.
Phillips and Stein able to save the touchdown from happening there, but you see these guys just get blown. You see Doug Glynn selling out. Livingston, a great block on the fullback, huh?
You know, number 85 for St. Clair, who's that? Doug Glynn. He looks like he's got a wide open shot on the guy, and all of a sudden Livingston just blows him out of the hole.
And Bob Bunn, the other linebacker, came through the wrong gap, or maybe not the wrong gap, but just wasn't in position to make the play and pick up for the first down. Penn Hills running the clock. We're down to about almost approaching 3 minutes to play in this game.
It's just hard to believe that Thompson and Strader will both be back next year. I mean,
amazing.
Again, they just break tackles constantly.
And they're little fellas, both of them only 170 pounds each. But they are tough runners, and they're fast. Strader in there, a tailback on this one. He gets the carry over to the left side, but he's stacked up for a loss on the play. Panthers defense in there quickly. That's
they might want to start using some timeouts. The clock has 2:30 on it. They have 3 timeouts. It's going to be 3rd down. This isn't a bad time to use one of your timeouts, because really, if they get the first down here, you're in trouble.
Banking on them not doing that. Aaron Coe with the play from his defensive tackle spot on the last play. For Upper St. Clair, 3rd and 6. They're going to come wide. Strader has it. And a great play there. One-on-one tackle by Pete Phillips. Gets him at the line of scrimmage. And Penn Hills is going to have to punt it. Upper St. Clair calls timeout, or no, we've got an injury timeout, as it looks like Strader.
Yeah, they're going to get away without having to use a timeout.
2:02 to play. The Panthers will get it back, apparently.
Well, that's why I was saying I think I would have used a timeout, before this play. Great pursuit here.
Yep, good pursuit, and you see Blinn coming up to force him, and Phillips somehow fighting off a block comes up and just drills.
It was a great tackle.
Victor Strader.
Yeah, that's one thing. Whenever you're
field, okay.
That's one way to always tackle a good running back. Down low, you got to get lower in him. Right at the legs. Take his legs out from under him.
Pete Phillips, 165-pound senior, made a lot of tackles in this game, but none bigger than that one.
Penn Hill should take their time. St. Clair didn't call timeout, and the clock is running.
Down to 1:45.
Yeah, I'd take a penalty.
It looks like they probably are going to do that. Nope. They're going to punt.
They just waited till the last second, though. Yeah. That was a good job by them.
Yeah, gets it off. Stein fields it at the 35. Big hole. Across the 50. 45.
Oh, did he get drilled?
41-yard line, and he was drilled.
Oh, my.
Chakia with the hit.
Oh, Donnie.
And so with 1:29 to play in this football game, we'll see how it comes out. Upper St. Clair down 7 with the football, 41 yards from maybe tying it up. 1st and 10, Upper St. Clair at the Penn Hills 41. 1:07 to play. McCart over the air. Pete Phillips. Incomplete.
Great defensive play.
Inside the 10. Great coverage on the play, and another shaken up Penn Hills Indian.
He got his hand up there at the last second.
I think that's Dwayne Thompson, the great running back, who was playing that side of the defense.
Let's see the replay. McArdle puts the ball right on the numbers. It's a great throw.
Perfect throw. Yeah, you see 22 Thompson
last second.
Just at the last minute to rip it out of his hands, huh?
That's a game-saving play.
Oh, man.
But there's only 1:01 left on the clock. I just think St. Clair burned a lot of time. You know, on that third down of Penn Hills, there was 2:32 left on the clock.
That's a toughie, yeah.
You know, they ran the third down play. They punted the ball. And then St. Clair's run one play, and they burned up 1:31 on the clock. They still have 3 timeouts, but...
You see Thompson is up and okay, but he'll have to come out for at least one play, I believe, or Penn Hills will be charged with a timeout.
Well, I think you know where you throw the ball this play.
Yeah, I'd say down the right side, huh?
Yeah, you see who comes in.
They got Stein in there replacing Phillips, who has to be winded after running that pattern.
It was a great throw. The ball was right there, but just give Thompson all the credit in the world. That could have saved a Wpial championship for him.
Stein splits to the far side, Daly to the near side. I formation set here on 2nd and 10. 61 seconds to play.
They can run a draw here. They fake it.
Fake a draw too. McCardle in trouble. Throwing back across the field.
Is that dangerous?
It sure is, and it's picked off.
Goodbye.
From your words to his hands, Victor Strader.
That'll do it.
McCardle ran him down at the 7-yard line. But that pass intercepted at the 32. He tried to get it to Eric Render on the throwback, but just too tough a play to make with a guy as fast as Victor Strader in the coverage. The ball hung up just a little bit too long.
Warm up the bus. This one's over.
With 43 seconds left, it appears that Penn Hills has won their first WPIAL championship since 1979. And it's been a long, tough battle for Neil Gordon as the head coach.
It's been typical of Mac McCardle's night. He's trying so hard, maybe trying too hard to make something when something's just not there. That's like a 35-yard pass play across the field.
Yeah.
And, you know, with the speed on Penn Hills, you're thrown across your body. I mean, he knows it. You know, everybody knows it. Again, he's just trying to make something happen. And that's, unfortunately, 3 of his turnovers tonight have been him just trying too hard.
Thompson back in there on the carry, so he's obviously okay and will be fine to move on in the state playoffs with the Penn Hills Indians. So he picked up 4 yards there on first down. It's going to be 2nd and goal for Penn Hills outside the Upper St. Clair 3-yard line.
I would think they're just going to let it run.
You would think. 22 seconds to go on the clock as you see it in the top left corner of your screen.
Not going to rub it in.
What a great day of football, and what a great championship this is for Neil Gordon, Dan. It wasn't all that long ago that he was asked to resign by the school board at Penn Hills. As Penn Hills it down, and that's official.
Well, Penn Hills is back, Sean. I mean, this was a powerhouse team in the 70s and late 70s, and they had some rough going there in the early 1980s, but they are back. And no, that's not true. That's not the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Yeah, there we go. The Penn Hills Indians.
That's it.
But he has brought this team. He has brought this team back, Sean. In the early, when he took over, 1987, he went 0-10. 1988, 3-6-1, and then continually got better from that time period until they went 12-0 and won the Wpial championship in 1995.
Let's make it 13.
Yeah, we'll make it 13-0, exactly.
13, and they'll move on. So we're going to take a break here and come back with some post-game comments with Kevin Decker down on the field from the winning side and probably from Upper St. Clair as well. It's 20-13. Penn Hills, your Quad A champs. These WPIAL championship football games have been brought to you by Allegheny General, Duquesne University Sports Medicine Institute. By Gillette, the best a man can get. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, the PG makes the day for me. By Cameron Coca-Cola, always in the game, always Coca-Cola. And by Adelphia Cable Communications. What a Quad A championship game it was. It went all the way down to Mac McCardle's last gasp pass back across the field intended for Eric Render. Victor Strader, who else to intercept it? It was Strader and Thompson. It was their show here this evening, Dan, as well as the Penn Hills defense in the first half that got the Indians their 20-13 victory. Kevin Decker with postgame.
Okay, we're with Victor Strader. Victor, a big game for you on both sides of the ball. I know you're tired right now. Let's talk about that late interception to ice this game away.
I was just hoping the receiver came back. I was just hoping he would throw it, and fortunately he did. I had to tack the ball 'cause he threw it high enough for me to get it.
Now, early in the game, it was a big touchdown that you scored early on. Describe it.
I don't know, it was just clogged up. I just had to go over top. It's the only way there was to go in.
It seemed like Upper St. Clair was doing a good job of blocking the middle of the field for you guys, trying to go either end around or right up the middle. They had a really good run defense up against you tonight.
The linebackers were shooting a lot, and they were pinching and stuff. They were trying to shut down our run game. That's the main focus for them, shut down our run game. They was doing a good job.
Now, this is not the end of it for you. Still got a few more games to go. Excited about the prospects of going to states?
Yeah, we're trying to take that, too.
All right, congratulations. Back upstairs.
Boy, Victor Strader had it right there. They sure have really done it. What a win for the Indians it was. And, you know, he talked about Upper St. Clair. They've been here. The Indians were able to overcome everything Upper St. Clair threw at them. And as we knew they would, Coach Render's Panthers gave them a football game. Although when you look at things pregame, we talked about it, they're going to have trouble staying with this team, but down to the last minute again, Dan.
Well, they had their chances, Sean. Their last two drives, you know, they were in Penn Hill's territory. 2 turnovers cost them. But, I mean, a great performance by Penn Hills. You really have to be happy for the people of Penn Hills and Coach Gordon. As I said, they started this program off 1987, 0-10, but obviously he put the building blocks in motion. You know, he must have gone out to the grade schools, got kids playing again, and those kids are now seniors and juniors now.
Absolutely.
And they're paying dividends.
Absolutely. Well, Kevin Decker has Neil Gordon, the winning coach, down on the field. Take it away, Kevin.
Head coach Neil Gordon, a big game, and it's been a long time coming for you.
Well, you know, Ace Everling always tries to get the 2 best teams into the final, and I think he succeeded this year. St. Clair, a heck of a team, very well coached. We played well tonight. We made a couple mistakes to let them back in, but then made a couple big plays down the stretch to take it away. So hats off to my kids. They beat a heck of a football team tonight.
You had them pretty much in hand early on offensively, and then they did make a little bit of a comeback. A little bit nervous there in the fourth quarter at all?
No, a little bit's the wrong word there. St. Clair, they you know, last week against Seneca Valley had them down 10-0, and they've kind of taken it to them. And there was just so much confidence in the St. Clair team. And we were down 20-0, but you didn't see them putting their heads down. They're confident they can win a game at any point. And I wasn't really confident until Victor picked one off and ran it down to the 5.
Now, normally you do the gradings in the paper. How do you grade it tonight?
Well,
grade A?
I don't know how I'm going to grade the coaching, but I'm going to grade what it means to the school district an A, that's for sure.
Coach, congratulations. I know it was a long time coming, and I know how happy you are about this. Go celebrate.
I really am. Thank you very much.
Okay. Head coach Neil Gordon of Penn. Let's go back upstairs.
WPIAL Championship Football brought to you by the International Culinary Academy, where you earn a specialized associate's degree in a little as 18 months. We'll be back to wrap this up right after this. Sean Doherty and Dan Donahoe back with you here at Three Rivers Stadium, a rapidly emptying Three Rivers Stadium after the final WPIAL championship game is completed. There it is. It's Penn Hills beating Upper St. Clair 20-13 for the title. Dan, let's put the final wrap on this one.
Well, there's the final set, Sean, and 258 yards rushing for Penn Hills. But St. Clair's defense did a pretty good job after that first quarter. 110 of those yards were in the first quarter. The big one is the 3 turnovers.
Yeah.
Actually, it was 4 turnovers, 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles. But those, you know, if you talk to Coach Render tomorrow or tonight, what he's going to say is you can't beat a team like Penn Hills and turn the ball over 4 times.
No, you can't do that, and you can't probably, when you're in his shoes, can't beat a Penn Hills team like this without taking a few chances. They took them. Penn Hills made the plays.
They did. They did. It's a super football team. They're big. They're quick. They got good speed. I mean, it's an excellent team to send to the state finals.
And it's the Penn Hills Indians who are happy here after this one. Upper St. Clair, another great season for them. Another great final game here at Three Rivers Stadium in the Quad A Championship. We want to thank you folks for watching. We hope you enjoyed the telecast. We want to thank a lot of the people who helped make this possible, including Chuck Heberling, the director of the WPIAL and also the folks here, the great folks here at Three Rivers Stadium, who make us feel so welcome. As you get to see the names at the bottom of your screen there, those are the folks who brought you these wonderful pictures all day long.
There must be an opposition in a free country.
Now this afternoon in the Quad A semifinals, we go to North Allegheny High School. First quarter, the Indians, Victor Strader off the left side, high steps it in from the 8. Penn Hills up 7-0 there, 13-0 at the half. In the third, quarterback Lynn Gilmer goes to Ron Graham. It's a 2-yard touchdown, and with the 2-point conversion, there's 21-zip. Then in the fourth, Strader found the end zone again from 34 yards out. He makes the cut, and you can say goodbye. Victor Strader with 3 touchdowns led Penn Hills to a 28-0 rout. The Indians will be in the state championship game next weekend in Altoona. And Peterson
and easily, and here's the way it looks. Penn Hills has beaten Erie-McDowell 28-0 in the quarterfinals, and they'll play Lower Dauphin. But this is Adam Hartman's punt, blocked by Victor Strader in the first quarter. So Penn Hills has the ball, and 4 plays after that, here comes Strader. 8-yard touchdown. Penn Hills had a 7-0 lead. Obviously, they played some serious defense today. This is third quarter. Erie-McDowell ball. It's 13-0 Penn Hills at this point. Brian Caldwell intercepted there by Garrett Livingston. And 4 plays after that, Dwayne Thompson from 6 yards out. 21-0 Penn Hills. And here's on the next possession, more defense. Caldwell is sacked by Penn Hills. And here's another defensive play. Great play here by Brad Orlando. Gets Jeremy George. Penn Hills goes on to win 28-0, 5 yards rushing, 20 yards offense.
My defensive coordinator, Tim Timko, and his our defensive coach on the field, Ronnie Graham. You know, Ronnie has gotten to the point now as a junior that he can see what type of offensive set a team comes up and call a defense to match up best with that set. It was a great defensive effort, no doubt about it. Erie-McDowell isn't that bad of an offensive unit. We just had a great day and got it on a roll, and were able to shut them down.
Today, Bell Vernon lost. Andrew Stockey has highlights on today's Penn Hills tilt. Take it away, Andrew.
The Penn Hills Indians ready to do battle in this state semifinal contest with Erie-McDowell, and today the Big Red was number 1 with a bullet. The Big Red shot down every play Erie-McDowell ran, and Vic Strader tore through the Trojans for 2 TDs and a 13-0 lead. First series of the second half, the Trojans' troubles continue. Brian Caldwell picked by Garrett Livingston. The INT sets up Dwayne Thompson's TD, and Penn Hills is pitching a 21-0 shutout.
Great defensive effort. I felt kind of comfortable because McDowell was groping to try to move the ball on.
All right, and obviously we're running short on time because of the game. We'll have all the highlights.
One ranked team in the state, Penn Hills, took the field against Erie-McDowell at North Allegheny. The Indians' defense sets up the offense on this block punt. Tailback Victor Strader slashes into the end zone from 8 yards out to give the Trojans a glance of things to come. The Big Red defense smothering Erie-McDowell right here. And now applying pressure on the quarterback, who finally gets the pass off for a nice gain, but not enough as he's drugged on from behind. And on 4th down, fullback Joe Magora is stopped short of the first down. And Penn Hills never looked back. Strader again gets the call, runs past the Trojans, this time from 30 yards out, to give Penn Hills a 13-0 halftime lead. And the crowd looks on. More defense from Penn Hills. That's 1. Now the big guy, Desmond Gibson. And he enjoys that stick. Speaking of big-time sticks, watch this from Jeremy George. In-your-face football. Garrett Livingston comes up big on defense with this nifty interception. A timely one to put the Indians back in business. Here's quarterback Len Gilmer finding tight end Ronnie Graham for a 12-yard gain. And on the next play, Dwayne Thompson scores on this 7-yard burst. He's in the end zone. Then Thompson makes it 21-zip with this 2-point conversion as he dives into the end zone. The crowd on their feet and the cheerleaders getting into the act for Penn Hills. Erie-McDowell quarterback Ryan Caldwell is swarmed time and time again. Down he will go. Relentless defense by Penn Hills. One more time, swatting the ball down is Desmond Gibson. Here he is, the junior, Victor Strader. Nice move. Cuts to the inside. Forget about it. An electrifying 34-yard run. A spectacular day for Victor Strader. For Penn Hills head coach Neil Gordon, it's just another day at the office as the Indians roll into Altoona with a 28-0 shutout win over Erie-McDowell.
Altoona for Saturday's state finals title game. Today we found merchants backing the Big Red, signs around town wishing the unbeaten Indians well. It's not just local businesses beating the drums for the team, though.
People are really getting it. People are calling, what can we do for you? You know, good luck to the kids. I have a board of cards and congratulatory messages in there from people that haven't been around in a long time or wherever they are in the country. They're just starting to jump the wagon a little bit, and it's great.
Now, there are 4 games in Altoona next week.